Okay, guys, it's time. Today's Monday, and you know what that means. It's time to talk about Otherside Picnic Episode 10, the sci-fi mystery Yuri anime that it is today. Now, before I review, I'm sure everybody had a good weekend. Now, two things before I do my review of Episode 10, two important things that impacted the landscape of anime this weekend. This weekend happened. So the first one we had was Attack on Titan, with Gabby fucking up as usual. And we all know how that works out, so we all know how Gabby fucked up that thing. But the biggest talk, not only with Attack on Titan, but with, after 8 long years, long years, we finally got season 2 of Devil's a Part-Timer. And Devil's a Part-Timer is back after 8 freaking long years. This is one of those shows that we actually waited for. Like, all the shows we waited for to have a season 2. Shows like Sekirei, shows like Prison School, shows like Claymore, shows like Bitoon, No Game, No Life. The list goes on and on and on. And Devil's a Part-Timer was on the list of shows that wanted a season 2, that Dead Man Wonderland, High School the Dead. But again, Devil's a Part-Timer has finally coming back. And I said on my Twitter page that this was the revolution of shows. And by revolution, I mean like with all the shows that we named and listed as shows to come back for season 2, this one is one of them. So yes. So the rise of returning shows, in other words, the rise of returning shows that we waited for years and years to come back is gonna come back. So for whoever owns Mappa, Madhouse, I don't care. Get the returning shows back to what we came for, and let's see how that works. Now, that's just me saying. Now, again, Otherside Picnic Episode 10. I kind of find this episode quite interesting, to be honest. I mean, this is one of those creepy episodes. I mean, literally, it had a few depths about what makes this show creepy and mystery-wise, And I love where this is going to, but still, the whole Setsuna thing, I don't know where this whole Setsuna plot hole is gonna continue. Like, are we just gonna drop the whole Setsuna thing? Are we just gonna ignore it? Are we just gonna ignore it? Because for the last few episodes, Setsuna has been brought up, but it hasn't been forward with it. Like, the whole premise of Otherside Picnic is just showing the demon, it's just going towards the other side, facing countless creatures. But what is Setsuna's purpose? After all these episodes, what is Setsuna's purpose? Like, are we actually looking for Setsuna? Or is it just one of those, like, adventures of Toriko and Sorawo's adventures with them just going to the other side? I don't know. So, without further ado, let's talk about episode 10. Let's get this review going. So, episode 10, it started out good, but then it's like the calm before the storm. Like, hey, it starts off with them, going to a barbecue, Japanese barbecue, but then it got escalated when we found out about the elevators. And that's the creepy thing about the elevators. The whole elevator thing was so, like, downright weird and creepy. Like, back then, it was always the elevator. Like, that one specific elevator could take you to the other side. So from the beginning, we asked ourselves, it was always like, okay, what is is there one elevator or are there multiple elevators? Turns out that there is multiple elevators to get to the other side. But there's one particular building that will take you there if you punch in the right code to go to the other side. Now, I love how Sorawo and Toriko brought up about the American soldiers. It's really interesting to say because I think we're gonna see them again. The way how they brought up them is just crazy enough to say, but we're gonna see them again. Hopefully next week or so. But let's see. So as they were going to the elevator, here come Kazuharu, the white-haired neat girl, the one always in her room. She's finally out. And this is the last time we actually see her. Like, we rarely see her outside. I think the last time we actually see her, like, outside is when she had a shotgun. I mean, not the shotgun. It's when her and Sorawo was looking for Toriko on the other side. I think that was the last time we saw her, like, outside. So, as they were going to the elevator, they realized, like, okay, Akira, the karate girl Seto, they were looking for her, but Akira, she just went somewhere else. She went somewhere else on the other side. So she actually thought, like, okay, she went on the 5th floor and she's there. But the question behind this elevator scene was, if we're going to the other side, what happens? What happens when you press a certain button that takes you to the other side? Like, here's the other side. Let's say the other side is on the 10th floor, and you're on like somewhere on like the 3rd, 4th, 5th floor. What happens when you enter the elevator to get to the other side? So when we got there, it was kind of creepy. It was so freaking creepy, guys. Like, we see some creepy stuff. This one is also creepy to me. I mean, literally, once they click the elevators, like the 5th floor, 2nd floor, whatever, they got to this entrance where it's all ghostly. Like, it's really creepy. Seeing Akira, and she just keep walking. As they were walking and walking, they stumbled upon this mirror, and creepy enough, it shatters. And then creepy enough, they went to, as they were walking, they see dolls, like a doll in the glass shelf, and I'm like, oh my god, this is creepy. I was wearing to see if those dolls was gonna come out of life. Like, literally, if those dolls were to move, oh my god, it was creepy. But the animation, the sound, the music, like all of that fit together to make this creepy, to make this episode really creepy. And then as they were walking to the stairs, you got these broken ass monitors, and then it just turned on by itself. I'm like, oh my god. And then when they get inside a room, they see a pair of scissors with a black hair cut. That's hinted. You got scissors, black hair cut, and pictures of random ass faces cover their faces up. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so creepy. This is so creepy. And then Akira's walking, not even ignoring him, and then Sorawo stops them. Now Akira, she met them like while they were on the phone. Prior before that, like when they were meeting, Akira was to meet them, but then all of a sudden she got this phone call from the other side. So that's how she got to the other side herself. And so it's still like, to me, it's like, okay, anybody can get to the other side. It's like, well, all these 5-story buildings, and there's like this elevator. I think it's tough to say that. It's sus to say that anybody can get to the other side. It's just how you do it, basically. Because think about it. Think about the previous episodes with that weird. Think about like in the early episodes when the guy was looking for his wife. You know, that's kind of, so I'm like, okay, so that means anybody can get to the other side. It's just how you get there based on what area that's mostly contained with the ghost thing. I'm just going by what I'm seeing. I'm just saying by what I see. But that's how that works. So anyway, they got to the other side. So anyway, as they made Akira, they getting chased by this creepy ass fog. And the way how they were running, it was like looking at them running, it was like they're going around in a circle. And the whole thing was collapsing as they were walking, trying to run. Kazuhara, on the other hand, she was just running. She's like, please, just leave me, because she can't run. I mean, I understand that she not a runner, but the way she just wanted to die because she can't run. But still, it was really interesting. So they got to the elevator quickly as they can. And just like things were so calm, hell no. Once that door opened, it was like a straight up lava. It was like straight up lava world, and Setsuna was right there. And then Sorawo grabbed Toriko's hand and just literally grabbed to remove that image of it, and then they back to normal. So I'm like, wow, with all the things that happened, it was really, really interesting. It was really interesting. And then at the end of it, they see the train station. That they brought up. So the American soldiers are still there. I just hope that they're alive or maybe dead. I don't know. But we're probably going to see them again. But like I said, this episode was really creepy, to say the least. It was one of those creepy moments that makes Otherside Picnic great. I mean, yeah, it's sci-fi. Yes, it's mystery. I understand the show's not really that like big thing, but it's a really interesting show, to say the least. I mean, I know that's supposed to be the Uranus behind all of it, even though it's not as hype as big Uranus as Citrus. This one is kind of very interesting in terms of the sci-fi and the mystery genre it is. Now, the plot-wise, though, I don't know where this goes, to be honest. I mean, it's very interesting to say, but it's still, to me, the whole Setsuna looking plot device, I don't know. I'm not saying it's dropping it, but I think it's going to be awkward to say, like, we're just going to drop this whole Setsuna thing off. I mean, granted it was kind of a big twist last week, but this twist is like, okay, maybe Setsuna's not really, to me, not really important. Maybe Setsuna is the key to the other side. Like maybe she's the one that created the other side, or maybe forcing people to go through. I don't know. But the bottom line is the whole Setsuna looking, the whole, hey, let's look for Setsuna, is still out there. So wherever it is, it may work. But like I said, this was a good episode. It was very creepy. I love the sound. I love the animation. So everything was there spot on. So I look forward for next week's episode of the Side Picnic. And who knows, maybe we get to see the American soldiers, or for more adventures awaits for Toriko and Sorawo. With a couple episodes left down the road till spring. Hopefully by then Setsuna could be alive or dead, or maybe some big old plot twist that comes along later on. So let's see how that works.